Hi everyone. Welcome to this recording. As you remember, we've finished with the if else if flows, and this is me and Shreya, and today we are both here to talk to you about something very interesting, which is timestamps. Now you might say, really, what's so important about timestamps? And it will bring me to an important aspect of the Internet of Things. The whole of the manufacturing sector, all our smartphones talking to Google Maps, people being able to track us, the temperature of the AC of the car moving up and down to adjust to the heat outside. All of this is part of sensors, right? Sensors measure, decide, and they make the adjustments which ensure that the Internet of Things Industry 4.0 works on absolutely fine. So the sensors actually beam out and do the measurements at regular times. The great part of this data is that the data is always clean, always consistent. The bad part is that it is very, very frequent. So, you can have sensors which could be tracking something every second, every half a second, or even less to ensure that there's no disruption. And the world is filled with sensors. I'm sure you see it in the back of your car when you're trying to do a reverse. I'm sure you see it when your AC adjusts itself, cuts it off when the temperature reaches certain points. You see it when you're tracking people that and Google Maps is working. Google is constantly beaming out your location to the satellites. All of this works on sensor data. These, as I mentioned, the data is extremely clean, very structured, and very, very frequent. The primary key for nearly all of the sensor data is the timestamp. And therefore, this is extremely important in this modern world. We go about it. As usual, Python is very easy to use for anyone. And there is actually a library called datetime library. Now let's try working with this datetime library. So all we do is say we want to create a datetime object, and if we only want to include the date, we can say datetime.date, or if we want to include the time also, we say datetime.datetime.now, or datetime.date.today for the date only, and you will get the outcomes. Okay, so this is very easy to use. What is interesting is, of course, this outcome, right? So it is always in descending order, starts with the year, month, date, and then starts with the hour, minutes, seconds, and goes on to the microseconds. So go ahead and find out where the directory related to date time is on your computer. What does it contain? So just run a print the directory date time, and it will tell you all the things that it will show you, including the time zones, time delta, meaning that you can subtract and add time, okay, age, and date, minimum year, maximum year. So that is the series that is pre-built. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is actually to run through creating our own birth dates. So my birthday is the 28th of February, and what I want to do is to write it down. So I say from date time, I want to create a date, which is year, month, and date, and then I want to print my birthday. Okay, so go ahead, do it, print out your own birthdays and see. Now, suppose if I wanted to pick out and say that the current date today is, like we have been doing, we've started working on the quizzes, etc. And we want to actually give it a structured outcome. So we just say print current date is equal to, and then say today. Now, today is already assigned. It is the date time of the date of today only. And that is what it will do. It will tell you current date is 23rd 10 so 2023, the 10th month and the 14th day. Okay. When we look at the timestamp, it actually works on microseconds. So here you can see that you can actually get one divided by 1 millionth of a second. Okay. And here the way to call it out is to call it out with a timestamp. Okay. Now, so what is a timestamp really? It is a 10-digit numerical number which is taking into account your year, month, date, and time. Okay. The system, any computer system automatically generates a timestamp. This timestamp is then converted for the front end into date time. Here you can see the date time over here, right? So if this is the particular timestamp, you can just say print the date in the timestamp and it will extract it. You could also have said print the time and the timestamp and it will take it out for you. So the timestamp is actually a 10-digit number, okay, in which the date, time, year, month, all of it is encoded. Now, suppose you wanted to take out only the year, month, and day. That's as simple. You just say that for today, take out the year, month, and day separately. And I would want you to try this out so that you can really see by yourself how easily it will extract the information. Yeah. Now here is what you get. If the time, the hour is 0, minute is 0, and second is 0, you can just say you want to import the time and see. Okay. Then, which is that there is nothing, right? Time is absolutely blank, and you say print A, and you will get this outcome. It says everything is 0, 0, 0. If I wanted to say hour is 11, minute is 34, and the second is 56, I can actually write it down. So always remember, in the datetime library, everything by default is in the descending order. The largest value on the left and then the small values on the right. Okay, so year, month, date, hour, minute, second. Here we can see we wanted to create the weekday. Today is the 5th day of the week. It is Saturday. Okay. And it is telling you it is the 5th day. So you can take out everything and anything from the date time, and the date time is best, kept or stored by computers in a timestamp, right? So up to a microsecond, you will be able to take out information. Always it goes hour, minute, second, microsecond. Okay. So just combining everything we've done till now, year, month, day, hour, minute, second, microsecond. So that's the sequence in which the date time is created. That's how easily you can work with date time. Okay. Now, if you want to create a timestamp out of it, here is it. You can say create the timestamp. This is the way the timestamp will get created. 10-digit number and stored. Okay. The other thing, of course, is, and most of the time we will calculate age, experience, number of years of deployment. That is from one date you want to subtract the other. And here you go. You can actually just say T4 minus T2 and print it out. It will actually tell you the number of days which are there between those two dates. Okay. Similarly, even if you did it in the reverse, where T4 is actually a date which is older and T5 is a more recent date, it will give you a minus value and tell you that this is the time delta. This is the difference in time. Okay. Here you will see days, hours, minutes, and seconds. All of it is mentioned over here. Okay. So all you need to do ever is to figure out the time delta function, and the time delta will tell you what is the difference between the values. Of course, you might say that I don't want this minus 1 day. It should actually show 1 day, etc. So you can just say absolute value, and this absolute value will give you the outcome, the desired outcome. Okay. Now, suppose you wanted to convert something into seconds, saying that what is the difference? I don't want it in days and minutes and seconds. I just want it in total seconds. That's also absolutely possible. You can just write that you want the time delta in total seconds. You can write it in total minutes, total hours, the way you want it. Okay. Now then comes the part where we will look at actually converting the date and time that is given in our data sets into other formats, which I will cover in the next video. So, well, go ahead and try out all the examples that we've done till here.